shield here is 6. And that exposes the removal of the drive shaft from both the rear end. That's 4 17 millimeters. Here are 2 13 millimeters on the center bearing. And then these are 19 millimeter all the way around, although we're just gonna remove the 3 on the drive shaft side of the Guibo. That'll give us access to the shifter. So a cool trick to remove these 4 nuts on the back side of the drive shaft to the differential side is to hold the drive shaft in place while you're unbolting these. And to do that, you can stick a large screwdriver or a pry bar inside of the actual U-joint on that side, and then it allows you to unscrew and get it loose. If you get it pried up against there, that means that you can actually get the leverage that you need in order to get it undone. And then up in here, it exposes the shifter mechanism, which has a connection right up here, which is a 13 millimeter right there from behind. That takes the whole shifter and brings it down. All right, so the entire shifter mechanism is disassembled, and when we remove and lower the engine, this is just gonna come right through the hole. Remove the reverse light switch wiring, which is right here, so we're good there. And we do need to also, don't forget, remove the clutch slave cylinder, right? That's connected to the body too, so that does need to be removed. So let's take a look at that and remove that, and then we'll take care of the transmission bracket. Now I have the jack stand on here, it's holding everything in place. When I remove these, the transmission won't move, and then I'll slowly drop it down just to make sure that there's no interferences. Well, that's a 12. It's not a 13 like I suspected. Another 12. Down. Didn't even need it really. I almost forgot one more thing, and that's the steering column at the rack. If you just loosen that 13 millimeter at the spline of the rack input, then at least when everything comes down, that spline will come loose from the column that connects to the chassis. Now that we've done everything below, we need to bring the car down and do everything from above. What do you guys think? I was gonna do another time lapse of the car going yet down and up again? I'm not wasting your time like that. Your time is more precious. Then of course you've got your 2 cooler lines, one from the output of the reservoir right here, and then another one that goes to the engine. Actually, this guy you can do with this instead. And that guy also needs to be removed. And that takes care of basically the coolant lines. And of course you have your upper radiator hose, and the lower one is down there. We're gonna need to access that one from underneath. So now the engine has essentially been completely disassembled from the chassis. We've got all the electronics removed. The 2 heater core hoses have been removed. We have the air conditioning lines have been removed. Coolant lines to the radiator have been removed. Power steering reservoir is sitting alone and with the rack and the pump, so this is also a self-contained system. The only thing that's really still holding this assembly together is first the four subframe bolts rather, and then that's gonna help me drop this, but also the steering column, which I've lubed up pretty good and removed that bolt, so it should kind of slip off with the pressure of bringing the chassis up against the sitting engine. So now what we need to do is basically put the car down and let the drivetrain sit on rolling pans so that it can sit on something and then I can move it. And then unbolt the subframe and then bring the chassis up. And remember, since we're dropping the